Everybody, Loacher for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video. So we got some new cards that have been announced, and very interesting cards. So how many varies was that? I don't know. Anyway, so the first card that we got announced is the Raid Raptor that Shun used in his duel against Yuri. I almost said Yuri, wrong person. Raid Raptor at Tranzer Falcon, or at Tranzer Falcon, as I should say. Rank 5 Darkwing Beast type effect monster, 2000 attack, 2000 defense, 2 level 5 monsters. While this card has an Xyz monster attached to it as an Xyz material, it gains the following effect. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card and target one monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. And then second effect, if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target a Raid Raptor XYZ monster in graveyard except itself or another copy of itself. Special summon that monster, then attach this card to that card as Xyz material. So a Tranzer Falcon is really cool. Because, first and foremost, he's kind of, sort of, technically easier to make. Yes, you can just use a Vanishing Lanius and a Mimicry Lanius after using Mimicry Lanius' effect to boost them up to level 5 to go into. But, however, you would never want to do that because you won't be able to use the effect because you need an Xyz monster to be able to use its main effect. And that's a Volcasaurus, and it can still attack even after doing the effect, which is really cool. I like that a lot. And it covers itself. Oh, hey, it dies. You can bring back any Raid Raptor XTs from your graveyard back out onto the field, and then attach it to that XTs onto it as Xyz material. Really good effect. Just being able to bring back your dead Arsenal Falcons, or I think it was a Falcon, right? Force Strix, Rise Falcon, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want, really. I think. Can you bring back Ultimate Falcon? I think so. I can't remember if Ultimate Falcon can't be spell summoned except by Xyz summon. Anyway, so really good card. I like it a lot. It can actually also make Arsenal Falcon a bit easier because if you do the Vanishing and Mimicry thing to where you go into this guy with those two, you can just use a Skip Force to go straight into Arsenal Falcon. So then you don't have to do that as much. And also, he kind of sort of makes making Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon in the deck a bit easier because you don't need to go into Blaze Falcon, who needs 3 guys to go into. But however, I don't think he completely eliminates Blaze Falcon from the extra deck. Blaze Falcon has an arguably much better effect, has 2 effects, and yeah, does not need an Xyz monster attached to it to use its main effects. So really, honestly, I would say maybe play one of each, possibly. I don't know. I'm honestly, the Raid Raptor extra deck is really tight, so I don't know, I gotta test them out and really debate, but I think at least one of them is pretty good. Anyways, on to the main card that everyone wants to hear about. We have, I believe this is the first card from the 20th anniversary pack, Wave 2. Yeah, they're doing multiple waves for the anniversary packs. I think they're gonna do, I can't remember how many they said that they were gonna do, 3 or 4. Anyways, so the first one just came out, and now we're getting news for the second one already, which is actually kind of surprising. And it's a card. It's a card that everybody's been waiting for, desperately, and wondering if it would ever be printed. And I remember a few years back, the director of Yu-Gi-Oh! Said that it would one day be printed, they just didn't know when. And that is good old Cosmic Blazar Dragon. So this is the card that Yusei had in the alternate timeline, where shooting Quasar Dragon was not made, and it's on a level of shooting Quasar Dragon, and depending on the format and depending on your deck and the way you structure everything, it can be considered better and or worse than Quasar, because while Quasar has OTK potential, this guy has stalling power, which is really good. So first and foremost, let me just say I love the design. It looks like not Shooting Star Dragon. It looks like Stardust Dragon grew up. I know that yeah, Shooting Quasar Dragon technically the evolution of Stardust. But if you look at Shooting Quasar and you look at Stardust, aside from the color scheme, they look nothing alike. If Stardust were to naturally evolve, you don't see any semblance to each other aside from the color scheme. This guy actually looks like an evolution of Stardust. And not only that, but also the body reminds me a lot of god dang it, Odd Eyes for some reason, probably because of like the orb things. So enough stalling, let's get on to the actual effect. He's a level 12 when dragon type synchro effect monster, 4k attack, 4k defense, 1 tuner synchro monster plus 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters, must be synchro summoned and cannot be spell summoned by other ways. During Uper's turn, you can activate one of these effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can banish this card until the end phase, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. When your opponent would summon a monster or monsters, you can banish this card until the end phase, negate that summon, and if you do, destroy that monsters or monster. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card until the end phase, negate that attack, then end the battle phase. So he has 3 effects, all of which involving banishing him until the end phase, and then either negating the activation of a card and destroying it, negating the summon of a monster or monsters and destroying it, and or negating an attack and ending the battle phase. All 3 effects are really, really good. Also, the banishing effect, honestly, while yes, you are losing like your board presence for a little bit, just until the end of the turn, it can be considered a kind of like safety thing, because if, let's say, you're doing against like somebody who you know has sided kaijus in or is maining kaijus, and they don't think, okay, just drop the kaiju on it, and they think about like doing something else first, or maybe they have a mandatory effect that has to activate, you just use this effect, get them off the field, and then your opponent can't kaiju it. Which is really, really good. So there are ways to get them around kaijus. Right now, that's the big problem with like playing boss monster decks, is that everybody's using kaijus. So hey, even if I'm playing my Phenomenaga deck and I have Phenomenaga out with like 8,000 attack power and you can't touch it, oh hey kaiju. Being able to dodge kaijus is really, really good. Granted though, he can't completely and totally dodge kaijus because you can't do anything in response to the kaiju summon. The tributing your creature is like, I believe it's technically cost, and even if you saw him warning it, you lose your creature. So it's very, very annoying, but being able to kind of sort of dodge kaijus is really nice. Next up, we have Double Resonator. He is going to be a Macker. I think that's what I'm going to be calling M-A-C-R, Macker. Yeah, let's call it Macker. Double Resonator, level 1, Fiend type tuner monster, 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only activate the second effect of Double Resonator once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can target one face-up monster on the field. That face-up monster is treated as a tuner this turn. And then the second effect is basically the same thing, but you banish it from your graveyard, and then target a Fiend type monster you control, and it becomes a tuner. So I really like both effects, but however, I don't know how much I would actually use this guy in Resonator, Red Dragon Archfiend, and stuff like that, because honestly, while yes, he is pretty helpful with like going into certain things, the deck already has an easy enough time getting plenty of tuners out, so I could really only see this guy being useful every once in a while, or unless I'm missing something. But I don't know, I think he's good, but however, I don't know if he's really necessary for the deck. That's like my kind of like just thing about him. He's good, but he's not actually necessary. Next up, we have a new trap card featuring the Gemini cards for some reason, the Gemini elves. I don't get it. It looks like they're being split apart. Maybe this is the beginning of a brand new story. Maybe it's how they get turned into tunes. I don't know. Anyway, so Farewell. Normal trap card. During your opponent's battle phase, send 1 spell card from your hand to the graveyard. End the battle phase. Also negate the effects of all monsters currently face up on the field until the end of this turn. This card is interesting. I like the effect. Being able to just stop the attack, end the battle phase, and then all monsters on field lose their effects until the end of the turn. So if your opponent has something annoying out, they can't reuse its effect. But the issue is that you got to send a spell card from your hand to the graveyard, and you're not always going to have a spell card in your hand. And 9 times out of 10 when you do, it's a spell card that you want to use for something else, be it a Twin Twister, Terraforming, Dark Hole, Regeki, something like that. You know, you generally don't want to get rid of your spell cards. I mean, I can't really think of any like obvious reasons why. I mean, this would actually, I would probably play this in kaijus, because you can discard your interrupted kaiju slumbers and then search off of it next turn. But even then, I'd much rather keep the interrupted kaiju slumber and then nuke the field at next turn and get it out. But however, I could still see how it can be useful like in that deck, because oh hey, discard the interrupted kaiju, end of battle phase, you're about to get OTK'd, and then, okay, next turn, search your kaijus and stuff. And obviously there are other situations where you'd want to use it. So I can see the reasoning for playing it. It's just the cost for using its effect. I wish it was just discard a card, not discard a spell card. That's a bit annoying. So that is all the new cards we have announced. I know there was like a new Phantom Knight card announced a while ago, but it's good. I like it, and I think we're probably going to get to rank 2 along with the other guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. What are your thoughts on these cards? I really like them. So yeah, even Double Resonator. Double Resonator is kind of, I'm torn between. I gotta test them out before I decide fully if I want to play them or not. So again, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later, and peace out. We finally got Cosmic Blazar Dragon!